All right, welcome back. Watch the president conduct himself and watch him conduct his business. He said we get sick of winning. I'm not sick of winning. And what a stark difference 6 months makes, right? It's undeniable that the U.S. is in the headlines every single day. And when it comes to patriotism, Trump is trying to make that great again, too. Now, real patriotism in America isn't just dying, it's being actively euthanized, often by the same elite class that benefits most from its existence in living memory, right? Patriotism, the love and devotion of one's country, appeared alive and well as people waved flags, stood for the national anthem, and recited the Pledge of Allegiance in school classrooms. That's how I grew up. I remember the bicentennial and how exciting it was back then, 50 years ago. Trump has built up some momentum to turn back this anti-American tide, but it's bound to be a pretty tough battle. Today, the pendulum has swung so far in the opposite direction that loving your country is seen as a moral failure. In certain homes, certain classrooms, and certain college campuses across America, the next generation is being taught to be ashamed of our country. I think Trump is tackling that head on. Now, I'd like to get the thoughts of my next guest. Please welcome to the show, Dr. Carol Swain. Dr. Swain, suddenly, somewhere along the way, patriotism began to be not so cool. They didn't like it. It was almost a bad thing.
Well, I'm going to say that the tide has turned, and I think there's an enthusiasm for America in certain quarters. And yeah, sure, on the college campuses, there are people that hate America. Unfortunately, some of them may be in Congress. In fact, some of them are in Congress. But I can tell you that regular Americans and people who served in the service, they are so enthusiastic. And you may recall that President Trump appointed me as vice chair of the 1776 Commission in December 2020. And we were short-lived.
Perfect.
But we were planning, our commission was to plan the 250th anniversary of our nation, which takes place, next year. And the kickoff is today.
Tonight, yeah, right. He's going to do something in Des Moines, where I was born. He's at the Iowa State Fair, too, isn't he?
He is, and so I'm not going to be. I'm enthusiastic. I think that it's going to be an exciting year. I know I'm going to be traveling to different states, participating in programs, some in Boston, and so I just think that maybe it will be the momentum from it will spread, and there'll be enthusiasm. And I say that America is back, and we're strong. Maybe not stronger than ever, but we're back.
I want to get that feeling from the 1980 hockey's team again. I want to get the feeling of a lot of those, from Rulon Gardner when he wrestled against the Russians. I mean, there was a time where we would all get behind people, but there was a poll done today. 86% of Americans are going to celebrate the 4th of July. My question is, what are the other 14% doing? I mean,
they're going to grumble about it. Well, they're the college-educated elite.
That's exactly what I thought. They're going to be at Harvard and Columbia, right?
Well, I mean, unfortunately, those Ivy League schools infected the downstream state colleges and universities. But among average Americans, regular people, the ones we see in the grocery store, the ones we worship with, I mean, they care about America, and so they will be celebrating the 4th of July, and a lot of immigrants will be celebrating the 4th of July. They appreciate what we have more than we do.
And that's very, very true. And so it's interesting that you say that, because some of them come over and they want to change it to the place that they left, which I don't understand. We've got
it's not the ones from the communist countries.
Right, because we've got this chap that's running for mayor of New York, and he's only been here 7 years.
I don't think he's going to win. Because the primary electorate is very elite. They're people, that make above $100,000 a year. And it's a small percentage of New York. And I believe that regular New Yorkers have some common sense, and that Democrats and Republicans will come together and they will elect someone that that's not so extreme. And I think Mayor Adams is most likely to be the person that will be reelected. I believe Democrats and Republicans will rally around him. So, I don't think that New York City will have a socialist mayor. But if they do, I hope all the New Yorkers don't move to Nashville. We don't want them in Nashville. We don't want them we don't want them in Tennessee, Texas, or Florida, or my home state of Virginia.
Because they'll want to turn that. They're going to turn that blue too, right?
Well, Virginia is purple.
Right. And so, I find it interesting that we get people that haven't been in the country that long that have such strong ideas about what they think this country should be about.
Well, you know something, those people, one of the problems with the birthright citizenship, you didn't know I was going to go there.
No, I did
is
not.
that, and I've studied it for years, they had birth tourism where wealthy people could come over here and give birth and go back to their country with their newly born American citizen, raise them in some foreign nation, and then that child could sponsor the whole family for citizenship. And so young people raised in another country with a different culture, they're not going to love America.
All right.
And so, I mean, that was something that should never, ever have happened.
My daughter was born in England, and she was not automatically an English citizen. We had to apply. I mean, just because she was born there, that did not make her an English citizen, which I thought maybe we should take a little lesson from that, too. But I appreciate it. We got to jump. You win the outfit of the day. You've outshone my outfit. I appreciate that. That's fantastic. Thank you very much, Dr. Swain, for coming on. Thank you for all you've got. All right. I want to say